Health is not built in hospitals nor discovered in laboratories alone. It begins in the quiet chambers within us. If you wish to understand the secret of vitality, do not look to the surface of the body, but to its foundation, to the liver and the gut. There, unseen and often unappreciated, lies the balance between life's renewal and its decay. Today, I want to take you beneath the surface, to the very roots of health, where the real work of living well begins. Health is not a coincidence, nor is it a luxury. It is a deliberate outcome of balance, a harmony sustained by two remarkable organs that work tirelessly and silently, the liver and the gut. Together, they form the unseen foundation of vitality. The true measure of human wellness is not in how strong we appear, but in how effectively these internal systems communicate, cleanse, and renew. Within the folds of the liver lies an extraordinary intelligence, one that converts the raw materials of life into fuel and filters the waste of living into harmless residue. It works day and night, transforming chaos into order. The gut, its counterpart, stands at the gate, our interface with the outer world. Every morsel we eat, every sip we take, passes through its scrutiny. It decides what becomes part of us and what must leave. Between these two, a dialogue occurs, a silent, biochemical conversation that defines our strength, clarity, and longevity. When we speak of health, we often look outward, to fitness, to appearance, to energy levels. Yet the truth lies inward. The health of the liver and gut determines not only digestion but immunity, mood, and cognition. A weakened liver slows the rhythm of detoxification, allowing what should be discarded to linger and poison the system. A compromised gut allows what should remain outside to enter and inflame. The result is confusion within cells, within hormones, within the mind itself. But when these organs function in harmony, life itself seems to flow more freely. The blood is cleaner, the mind sharper, the energy steadier. You can feel it in your skin, in your sleep, in your sense of purpose. To care for the liver and gut is not merely an act of self-preservation. It is a form of respect for the miracle of biology. The liver thrives when we grant it rest. Through hydration, through nutrient-dense foods, through moderation and indulgence. It regenerates when we remove the burdens of processed sugars, excess alcohol, and chronic stress. The gut responds to nourishment that is alive, fiber, diverse plant foods, fermented elements that restore microbial harmony. Together, they remind us that health is not achieved through isolation of parts, but through the integration of systems. No machine can replicate this balance, and no pill can replace it. It must be cultivated through consistent choices, through conscious living. The lesson is simple yet profound. To enhance overall health, we must begin with the foundations that sustain it. A clear liver and a balanced gut are not just physiological advantages. They are prerequisites for vitality. The mind clears when the body's filters are pure. The emotions settle when the internal chemistry is clean. The will strengthens when the system runs without resistance. In this unity of function, there is the potential for human flourishing. That is not merely biology. It is the art of living well. There is a quiet intelligence within the body that far surpasses our understanding. It is not found in thought, but in rhythm, in the precision with which our organs sustain life without demanding attention. Among these, The liver and the gut are the silent architects of health. They are not glamorous, yet without them, the very idea of vitality collapses. The liver is the great transformer, taking what enters the bloodstream and turning it into what the body can use. The gut is the great mediator, deciding what may pass inward and what must stay out. Together, they form a partnership that defines the quality of our health more profoundly than any visible measure. When they are in balance, the body sings in quiet harmony. When they are burdened, the system falters, and the melody of life becomes strained. We often think of the liver only when it fails, and of the gut only when it protests, yet both deserve attention long before symptoms appear. Prevention is not a slogan. It is an act of foresight, the courage to care before crisis. The liver performs thousands of chemical reactions every day, detoxifying, producing energy, balancing hormones, storing nutrients. It asks for little but responds profoundly to respect. A clean diet, adequate hydration, and periods of rest are not trends. They are the natural conditions under which this organ thrives. The gut, equally complex, houses trillions of microbes that outnumber our own cells. They are not invaders. They are partners in the enterprise of life. Feed them well, and they build your immunity. Starve them or harm them with poor habits, and they turn against you. The relationship between the gut and liver is not separate. It is one continuous conversation. What the gut fails to handle, the liver must bear. What the liver cannot neutralize, the gut must endure. This is not merely a biological connection. It is a principle that extends to all aspects of living. What we neglect in one part of ourselves must be compensated for elsewhere, often at great cost. Health, then, is not the absence of illness, but the presence of cooperation within systems, within habits, within choices. To strengthen this alliance is to live intelligently. Begin with simplicity. Eat foods that have not been stripped of their essence. Move your body, for motion assists the natural cleansing of organs. Sleep deeply, for the liver works hardest when the world is quiet. Breathe slowly, for oxygen fuels every reaction that sustains life. These are not small acts. They are the foundations of human endurance. When we care for the liver and gut, we do more than sustain survival. We awaken potential. We sharpen the mind, stabilize emotion, and build resilience against the silent erosion of modern living. The reward is not fleeting. It is a sustained clarity, a steadiness that underlies every thought and action. True health, like true wisdom, begins not in excess but in balance. It begins with listening to what the body already knows. There is a truth in nature that never changes. Every system that endures must maintain harmony between what it takes in and what it gives out. The human body is no exception. Within us, the liver and gut carry the profound responsibility of maintaining this equilibrium. They are the custodians of transformation, converting the raw material of life into energy, clarity, and strength. When these two organs work in harmony, we experience a sense of internal balance that extends to every aspect of being. But when this balance falters, the consequences ripple outward, not just as fatigue or illness, but as a dulling of the human spirit. The gut is the body's first ambassador to the external world. It receives, examines, and decides. Every bite, every drop, every compound we consume becomes either nourishment or burden. Within its intricate folds, lives an entire universe of microorganisms, each playing a role in digestion, immunity, and mood. When these organisms coexist in balance, we flourish. When they fall into disarray, we suffer. The gut is not a simple pipe. It is a living ecosystem. And just as a forest cannot thrive if its soil is poisoned, the body cannot thrive if its gut environment is neglected. The liver, meanwhile, is the master chemist, silent, tireless, precise. It transforms nutrients into usable forms, neutralizes toxins, stores essential compounds, and sends forth energy for life's continuous work. It asks for very little yet gives endlessly. But even the most devoted servant can be overworked. When the liver is burdened with processed foods, synthetic chemicals, or excessive alcohol, it begins to falter. Waste accumulates, metabolism slows, and inflammation takes hold. The signs may not appear immediately, but the deterioration is certain. The miracle is that the liver has the power to regenerate, if only we allow it. The conversation between gut and liver is constant and essential. What enters through the gut flows to the liver to be filtered, refined, and redistributed. If the gut passes impurities, the liver is overwhelmed. If the liver is sluggish, the gut becomes congested. This continuous exchange defines the quality of our health. It is a partnership based on trust, and when one fails, the other bears the weight. The key to vitality is therefore not in treating them separately, but in understanding their shared rhythm. To nourish both, to lighten their load, to honor their intelligence. To care for these organs is to act with wisdom, not indulgence. Choose foods that are close to nature. Eat slowly, with awareness of the gift each meal represents. Hydrate well, rest deeply, and move often. These simple acts align with the body's design. They are not restrictions. They are permissions, allowing life to function as it was meant to. When the liver and gut are well, the entire body finds its equilibrium. Clarity replaces confusion. Energy replaces fatigue. Calm replaces anxiety. In that balance lies not only health, but a deeper form of peace. A sense that the body and the mind are finally speaking the same language. That is the quiet triumph of true wellness. Every great structure depends on the strength of its foundation. Your body is no different. The liver and gut are that foundation, the silent guardians of your clarity, your strength, your future. Care for them, and they will give back more than you can imagine. Because in the end, the quality of your life is written not in your age, but in your energy, not in the years you count, but in the life your body sustains. Begin where life begins, within.